Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. It's Terry, your host. I want to show you a little bit of my trip today, and then we'll talk about some trucker heroics. This is Highmark Stadium. Used to be Rich Stadium. It's the home of the Buffalo Bills, or as I like to call it, where folding tables come to die. Okay, so there's a little taste of the Bills Mafia in action. But if you're not familiar with the Bills Mafia, they're basically Bills fans who oftentimes band together, obviously to smash folding tables and tailgate, but also to pour money into different charities for different reasons. For instance, when Josh Allen's grandmother died, they made a donation to a charity that Allen supports to honor her. So they made a donation in her name. When Andy Dalton was a quarterback of the Bengals, and the Bengals won a game at the end of the year, and I can't remember, I think that was 2 years ago. Two seasons ago. Just as a show of appreciation, the Bills Mafia donated a bunch of money to a charity in Cincinnati that Andy Dalton supported. Dalton's with the Bears this year, but they've also donated to a charity that Lamar Jackson, the quarterback of the Ravens, supports. So it's all about just, it's kind of fun. It keeps people in, keeps companies that make folding tables in business and their employees, and it's a lot of stuff for good causes, and so it's all in good fun. So I wanted to talk a little bit about truckers, because they're the true MVPs. I mentioned in my earlier video about people being stranded on I-95, and there's about a 50-mile section from just north of Ruther Glen, which is, I think, is exit 103 maybe, north of Richmond, and that's the exit where there's a bunch of truck stops. It's probably the last bunch of truck stops before you get into the DC area, but it's closed. But there have been numerous accounts of truck drivers who have shared food, water, blankets with people in four-wheelers, people that are around them, giving them hot meals and stuff like that. Because if you think about it, if you're an OTR guy, you kind of got a little camper, right? You got power, you got, I have a microwave, I have a refrigerator, I always have lots of food and snacks on board. I also have extra, pillows, blankets, stuff like that. The other thing, though, is, when I was a kid, I grew up in, like I was saying earlier, I grew up in Western New York. And when I was a kid, we would get monumental snowfall. Like, just crazy amounts of snow, like mountains of snow every winter. I mean, that was just like my childhood growing up. And, even my parents, who weren't truckers, they always had, blankets in the car. They always had, a snow shovel. They always had stuff for winter. Because even you could be 5 miles from home and end up in a ditch, and you're going to be stuck there till somebody finds you if you can't get out of it, if you can't walk out of there. And 5 miles is a long way to walk in the middle of the night during a blizzard or whatever. And when I was a kid, we just kind of went with the flow. Like, it had to be an enormous amount of snow for school to get canceled. So that was just how we lived our lives. I can remember my dad would there's like 6 inches of snow that fell overnight. My dad just goes to work, right, with his 2-wheel drive car. his two-wheel drive Pontiac Catalina that he had some, like engine parts in the trunk to weigh it down, get traction. So anyway, just a shout out to those truckers. I mean, I know, I'm very certain it sucks being stranded. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But it's really cool that they're giving of themselves and helping people out. And there's a couple of different accounts that I've read in the news media about it. So appreciate that. It makes the community look good, and it makes people appreciate us and what, how we're prepared to be on the road all the time. So good job, guys. I hope everybody, they're supposed to be getting the roads open by rush hour tomorrow, but there's another wave of winter weather coming towards the east that's going to impact from like Nashville all the way up towards New York City. So if you're not checking the forecast constantly where you are and where you're going, you really should be. So be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.